everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday, and hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. So we're not doing Space Engineers this morning. We're doing Dune, obviously. But that's because today is reset day for the Deep Desert, and I wanted to go ahead and get an early jump on that. So that's what we're going to do today. Also, I was messing around with some settings. Hopefully, I might be able to try and get the whole VOD not recording the music thing going. I don't know yet, but it's something I will poke at. Why do I keep having these weird frame drops? Oh, probably because it's still just loading everything up. Yep. Like I literally went through, the reason why I was a little bit late is because I went ahead and I updated my NVIDIA drivers, my graphic drivers, and then I did a full reboot of the computer. And so because of all that, it had to rebuild all the shaders, which took way longer than it should have. Anyway, on today's docket, wow, I can't even hear myself in this. Sorry, just all sorts of problems today. But essentially what we're doing today is that we need to go ahead and get the first of our 2 bases up and running. Also, I need to see what the Deep Desert looks like. Yep, that's fine. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Why would they do that? 2 Stravidiums. Okay. Give me a second here. Okay, so what I'm looking at is this desert map. Let me bring this up. This is essentially a map of the deep desert as it is today and how it will be for the next week. What we're seeing here on the map that is important is here goes a large spice field in F5. In F4 and crossing into E4, we've got Stravidium, what we basically call Stravidium Island, and then a Titanium Island. Those 2 are kind of the important parts. Now, as far as bases go, you're typically going to want to put yourself in a more centralized area so that it's easier to get to the important resources. G5 would actually be a good spot because it's kind of in the middle of a whole lot of dense clusters. Hell, even in the middle of H5 if you can find somewhere to put down a base. That's 4. So far, only 4 large fields, which is odd. Usually there's 5. So that's going to be a bit interesting to this week. We'll see how long that actually lasts. But let's see here. Yeah, okay. So, goddamn, sorry about that. As far as where I would want to put a base, there's 2 locations that I want to put a base. The first here is going to be up in the A rank. This is going to be our processing base, the location where we do all of our actual processing of the titanium and stravidium and spice. Oh my. Then we're going to have a secondary base, which is a collections base, sort of out here in the desert. I'm thinking possibly D5, E4, or E6, sort of in this triangle, is where I'm going to have it. But yeah, that should work. Now, the reason for the processing base is because that means that when we bring stuff from, well, so because of the fact that we're on the private server, even if I put it up here in PvP, generally it's not going to get raided. People have had bases up here, like last week they had bases up here, nobody touched them. But most likely I would put it in the PvE zone anyway, just cause it makes life a little bit easier that way. Well, you guys can't see the map, but I would definitely put it in the PvE section just to make it easier to deal with since it is closer. Absolutely. So, the first thing that I need to do is I need to put together essentially a box that is going to have the stuff that I need and or want. Sort of a care package box. And for that, the first thing I want is half of 430 is 215. I might not have enough spice melange though. It's the only thing, because for the spice powered generator, I need 270. Half of that is 135. I've got 125. So I don't have enough spice for that. But I have enough of just about everything else. So silicon would be 90. Should be up here. And what I typically like to do is to go ahead and use something like the buggy to just transfer items into it. So like I'll use this. We'll split you. I need to make more of that. Split you. And then also I need some extra fuel cells here. Okay. Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, at least he's got a shiny new assault thopter to make him feel better. So for those of you who didn't hear or see that, Horkintar logged out in the deep desert and forgot that the storm exists. And then when he came back, all of his stuff was gone because it, you know, took it all out. Okay, so a little change of plans. We have to go do some farming first. just need to collect some stuff real quick. And then I can get it taken care of for him. Man, that sucks though. Okay, so we're gonna go on a quick I need yeah, let's go down there. But anyway, so essentially what I'm looking at and what we're looking at is with the deep desert this week, we want to go ahead and create a logistics and supply chain. So that way we can go out into the deep desert, collect a whole bunch of stuff, and then bring it back. Holy Jesus. What the hell? What the fuck was happening? That was the weirdest. Okay, that was... yeah, that was just weird. Funny, but weird. All right, anyway. So, base towards the middle of the map is going to be our sort of collection point. And then we'll bring that back towards the... Ooh. Nope. Oh, there's two of those bastards. Okay. All right. Get some of my... Sorry, got distracted there. Yeah, a little bit. Haha. No, I right-clicked. Nope, we gotta run. I gotta recharge. Okay, there we go. All right, so anyway, so middle of the map, we're gonna go ahead, we'll collect resources from all around, bring that back to that base. Then we can go ahead and use assault thopters with cargo containers or cargo holds on them to bring them down to our processing facility. Really? No. Once they've been processed at our processing facility, we can then very easily transfer them back to Haga Basin. And the reason for that is because the A rank is basically right next door to the exits for the deep desert. And our base here in Haga Basin is also right next to the exit and entrance for this area. And so it makes it much, much easier to get in and out, to be able to get resources back and forth, which was part of the reason for building up here, but also because it is right next to aluminum. No. Drill shot. Bad. Oh, nice. That's what I need. Damn it. Dagnabbit. Awesome. That should help. We can see about getting... That they do. At least the sandflies that are over here in Western Shield Wall. In Eastern Shield Wall, they're not quite as bad. Oh, God, no. No, the guys over in the deep desert are mean. They are nasty. However, I have managed to actually clear out a couple of kill rooms in the wrecked ships. So, I'm getting better at dealing with them, but they still suck. So, one of the things that I've been tempted to do is actually to switch out to Poison Mist for a sword. And actually, I have a better one now, the Carrot Viper, that could potentially be a little bit better for that because of the fact that it does poison damage, like Poison Mist does, but it just does so at a much higher rate with higher damage. Okay. Yes, also Rapier as far as I know. Okay, hopefully Kintar should have the parts that he needs to get his still suit rebuilt. Wrong one. This one. Still need a little bit more. Oh yeah. Put that back. That's... Don't need you. Nope, nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay. And then we... Okay. So the other thing that I need to do... Okay. Let's see about getting him the Mark V cutter ray. Blood extractor. He mentioned the... Okay. What was it? Find out which one that he had. Okay, cool. There he goes. Yeah, because the Cutter Ray Mark V. Oh, that's right. He was looking for the Tarl Cutter Ray. Well, he's got a Mark V for now, in case we need a spare. But that also means that we're going to have to go raid a testing station at some point. And what do I need for... Wanted to check. Yeah, the Carrot Viper does 100.1 damage per hit with an attack speed of 139. Did he just grab the carrier? No, no. That just sounds weird. All right. So now the only reason why right now I'm not using rapiers is because they are very much more single target weapons compared to the swords that are more multi-target. But that aside, I need more duraluminum. Also, okay, good. Those did get started. Awesome. All right, so back to what I was attempting to do. Yeah, that's true. The extra speed does help. Awesome. No, I don't like that one. Let's do Mala. There we go. Actually, that blue doesn't look too bad. Okay. I keep getting distracted here. What I need is to grab from the buggy. I need that. I also need to come up here, grab some metal. And nope, not that. This. I need... Honestly, I'm just going to take all the plastanium. Because I'm going to need all the plastanium. And then we're also going to load up the plastone. I don't know if I'm going to need all of it, but I'm going to grab all of it anyway. Grab some of you. Probably not going to need all of that plastone. Now, the first base is actually going to be kind of the most difficult to make initially. The reason for that is because of the fact that I have to make sure that it is sized well enough. Since I only have the one advanced subfife to work with, I have to look at and worry about the size of it for at least an assault thopter, possibly two, as well as our carrier and a buggy. Maybe. It's kind of what I'm looking at there. All right. No, you can't. So everything that I build has to be built vertically. So that's why you have to worry about the size of things. How much water do we have? Oh, good. I need to go do some aluminum mining. Let's see where stuff is. Ooh, nice. And specifically, I need aluminum on this run, not a combination thereof. This looks like it's going to be the magic road for a little bit. Thank you. Oh, yeah, there we go. So one of the guys on the server was noticing that areas that he had just flown over and not used a sensor probe on were covered back up. And that happens after the Coriolis storm. That's weird. Sometimes what'll happen is that it won't register that you have, like, you'll open the map and it won't show you that you have investigated an area sometimes, so that's weird though. Could be a bug, but I mean, probably is a bug. Let's get this all taken care of. How we doing here? Awesome. Still need more. Need lots more. Oh, one of the other things that I did, which we did yesterday, was went ahead out to Sheol and went out to the very south area. Way out here. And there's this little spot right here where there's no radiation at all. And so I went ahead and I built a landing pad there for the carrier. There's also this island here, which has no radiation either. So there's a couple of spots in Sheol to the south where you can go and kind of escape the radiation if you need to. Really useful when you're out there for a long period of time. Yes, give me that aluminum. Lots of stone up here now, too. More than usual. Might have to grab a little bit of that at some point for some of the other parts that we usually wind up building. Actually, at present, I can damn near build an entire base with just the observer blocks. Like, I kind of hope that over time they release enough of the observer blocks from Twitch drops to actually build an entire base, like to have an entire palette of just those. I think that would be pretty cool. And especially when combined with the Kaladin Palace palette, would turn out to be pretty nifty. You missed.
Someone here. Someone's here.
And then we will pick up your corpse. And we put you in the van. And then we pick up the other corpse. And we put that one in the van. And now I have 2 corpses. Corpse. Thank you. Water bottles. Okay, what? Things are being weird today. Oh man, so I was, because I've been playing so much Dune lately, I've kind of had the whole desert on the brain. So I was on Second Life yesterday, and one of the things that I like to do these days is just general landscaping, or I should say land construction, if you will, in Second Life. And I've got a platform. If you're not familiar with Second Life, basically it's just a big old third-person world simulator kind of thing. It's basically a virtual chat room. But one of the things that's fairly common is that you will have your land, and then you will have sky platforms or sky boxes. And they're usually starting at like 1,000 meters and going up from there. So I've got myself a nice platform that I use. And one of the stores, one of the merchants in Second Life that I usually go to for a lot of my landscaping stuff, had a pack of textures for desert, sand and stuff. And so I went ahead, bought that, and took down the stuff that I had up and replaced my platform's grass texture with the sand. And then I went looking at a store that I usually go to for prefab or prefabricated houses. And they have some absolutely beautiful builds. And one of them I saw was this kind of smallish desert cabin, if you will, where it was built on a set of like sandstone with cactuses and whatnot, cacti around it. Looks really, really pretty. I'll have to like take some screenshots at some point in time. But it was ridiculously cheap for what it was. So I threw that up there, and I'm like, you know what? I think I need to go in and actually learn Blender, because now what I want to do is start putting together additional desert themed resources for it, specifically so that I can start to put together a proper sort of desert themed house and yard and whatnot. But it also got me to thinking that in a lot of games outside of Dune, they really don't put a whole lot of time and effort into making larger, varied desert biomes. Because there's a lot of variation in a desert. It's not always just sand, it's also rock. Like, for instance, Grand Theft Auto 5. I really had wished that they had made the desert area bigger than they did. I think that's one of my personal gripes with it, is that I wish that the Sandy Shores area was bigger, and that it was more open, more what is that? Shoot, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Death Valley. That's the name I was looking for. Wow, that was nice. More Death Valley-ish in scope and size. Because that would have been a really fun place to go tooling around with off-road vehicles. There we go. All right. I always do that too. I need to go up this way. Partly so I can drop off the bodies. Also so I can drop off the aluminum. Okay. Wrong one. There we go. And actually, I think this one is mostly... Yep. Wrong one again. God, I wish they would hurry up and release the update that allows us to rename things. All right. I need at least 200 of that. And we'll get some of that going. Which I think that was pretty much... Yeah. All right. So... I have a bunch of duraluminum. Let's drop this important stuff in there. Grab that other bit here in a moment. I want some... What else do I need for that? Complex machinery. Formats, yeah. Okay. Complex machinery. Oh, God. We have so much. Drop that off. That back. Cool. And then I'm not sure what else. Probably some servox. Don't need all of them. And then advanced machinery, which I'll also need to get some more from out in the desert. But again, that won't be a problem. That'll be pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's the complex, the advanced, the cobalt paste, the spice melange is the only thing that I don't have a ton of. That aside, what about you? Just the duraluminum and cobalt paste and spice and calibrated servoc, and then I would just need some fuel for that so that I can at the very least get something started while I'm out there. Industrial grade. Get that going, and then get some of the spice going. And all of you. I'll take another. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like catalog in my head everything that I need to get started with. Let's go grab some more of the plastone for the assault thopter. Awesome. And then I will take a whole bunch with me. Also, what do I need for you? The steel ingot, which I think I put some in here. I did. Awesome. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's go ahead. And we're going to head out to the deep desert. And this is what I mean by like just how close we are. I usually like to go out this way because it's an easier straight shot. But then we'll come in from over here. Like we land basically right over there. Oh, I don't think I made a thruster for his... I'll have to double check that. Because I don't know if I made a thruster for it or not. I think I did, but we'll see. If not, it won't be too difficult. But that's okay. There we go. So anyway, what I'm thinking about for the base, something I kind of want to try, is something that I've seen, which is, I think it's octagonal or hexagonal, that could potentially give a little bit more. I don't know if it would give more room or not. I don't think it would. But anyway. As far as base location goes, I think we should be fine. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But I don't necessarily need more wall facing. Or, you know, no more wall faces. Jesus. Also, I do need a quick AFK. We'll just come down here for a second. There we go. And I will be right back. Here we go. That's better. I need okay. I need water. A little bit more. Cool. Oh, I just realized what I don't have though. Let's see. Pack full. I need scrap metal so that. Come on, get up here. But I need scrap metal so that way I can actually make the sub 5 controller. The other question is where specifically I want to put it. How high up is that? Okay, up here probably wouldn't be too bad. I'm thinking somewhere on, oh, even like right up here. If it will let me, we will see. Here or a little bit lower, but either way. Actually, right here would be kind of perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need to drop something. So need those. Plant that for a second. Can I get enough scrap? Ha! I can get enough scrap to level up. You back there. Need just a little bit more. Damn. Almost. Okay, what I'll do here is I will drop you for a second. There. There. Now that I've got that built, I collect all this. I pick that back up. And we're good. Now what I can do is go ahead and start with the construction of our domicile. And what I want to do, first of all, make sure that we are aimed correctly. Lifted. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Perfect. Now I can actually grab some extra scrap. God damn. Cannot wait until I get over this cough, whatever is causing it. Now I need storage. Drop off this and that. Cool. Now I can really get started on this. What I'll probably do is actually bring this up one more block. Just so that way it's elevated enough that it's easy to actually, well, I don't know, we'll see. Although looking at this, I very definitely should be able to get the carrier in here as well. It's just making sure that I have the pentashield large enough to deal with it. Not this time. Once I actually get this built out, I know Fortnite definitely did get a little weird. Once I get this built out though, and have a good idea of what I want, then I can always go ahead and make a Solido replication of it. That'll be a good start for a platform. And actually plenty of space for what we need. And then it's just a matter of building up vertically. But let's go hide behind the assault copter for a second. Cool back down. Oh, there we go. Yes, the start of the mighty empire. Let's actually change that to this. Don't want that. Want that. And that. Yep. Okay, good. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it looks like the advanced sub-5 will allow you to get a 10 by 10 grid of floor space inside of its bounds, which is good to know. And it looks like, if I had to guess, they're either 2 meters or 2.5 meter blocks, or at least 2.5 by 2.5 meters. I don't know what their height would be unless it's a perfect square, in which case that would stand to reason. Very similar to Space Engineers. There we go. Okay, so let's get that moved over here. Since I know that this is a safe corner, we'll get you moved over here as well. demolish that. This one. That one. There we go. Now I can go ahead and we will add. Oops. Actually, that works. I can get this done pretty quickly. Not too much fuss. And then what I'll do for the bottom level is this is where the assault thopters and the scout thopters will be able to land. Oh no, yeah, fair. That is fair. But this is where I will put my assault and scout thopters on the bottom. And then the top level will be for the let's actually ditch you guys. Will be for the carrier. I don't need it to be this tall. This tall will be fine. Go. And then just you. Yeah. And that should be like I can easily get a thopter in and out of an aperture of that size. And then I think what I'll do, excuse me. I think I'll also do the carrier side loaded as well, because it is a massive beast of a thopter. And so side loading it would actually be a little bit easier. Wasn't a yawn. Was not a yawn. It was, I got this nasty cough that I can't seem to get rid of. In this case, it was something trying to go down the back of the throat where I need to breathe. No, not typically, no. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Although not the correct 10. Correct 10. Put you up there. You then get this treatment. Looks like more and more people are starting to come out to the deep desert today. And actually, we have a really good community of people that are out here, which is nice. Like, just about everybody's real chill. Making call outs for like, hey, here's some, you know, this large field is up and running. There's stuff over here, that sort of thing. So it's really nice. I'm glad we are out here. And then 4. that. Go in here. Yes, yeah, Deep Desert is public. That's also where all the PvP is supposed to be. Which, one of the things that they did was that they changed the map. I'm going to have to go through and discover a whole bunch. But from about halfway up, so about E, yeah, about halfway through E and down is all PvE. Mostly PvE. Everything from E, half of E and up is all PvP. That was their great compromise. And of course, it made a bunch of griefers real pissed. Like, they were absolutely upset that they couldn't kill anybody anywhere, or everybody everywhere. They were all like, this game sucks now. You guys ruined this game. Boo-hoo. I'll feel sorry for you later. And then we do this and that. Yeah, exactly. And everybody already knew what their big problem with it was anyway. They really didn't care about the fact that the majority of players are PvEers. They were just upset that they weren't going to get to, like, indiscriminately kill players. It's like, you guys have 1,000 other games for that. Go play those. Oh, no, they weren't. Which sucks to be them. Also sucks to be me. Put that in the correct orientation, you bastard. Okay. Also, I just realized I need at least a little bit of power going on here. So we'll get one of these started. There we go. Two, 3, 4. Oh yeah, no worries, man. That's all good. As the saying always goes, real life comes first. So if real life is like, I gotta fuck somebody over, take care of real life first. I am merely an entertainer. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. I can work with that. So, do what you gotta do to take care of what needs taken care of. I will never for a second think that I am more important than actual important stuff. Okay, then, yeah, we'll put you down here like that. I can use, god damn it. Oh, better idea. Instead of these, structurally, I can put you and you here. Thanks. I appreciates it. I mean, not the human part. How fucking dare you? But the friend part's pretty cool. All right, there we go. You're going to have to jump to get in, but that's a security feature. Now, put our corners in. Absolutely. They can't handle steps like that. Really? All right, whatever. I thought I would have already completed that one, but I guess not. Assault thought. Ooh, I'm going to have to go get some more. Kintar! And let's get this side. There we go. Might be able to finish this. No. Well, we'll find out. However, I will definitely have enough room to put the second level up here for the carrier when we bring it out. Yeah, about that. It's on back order. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go get some more plastone. Speaking of, do I have enough stuff for... Oh, that's all in. Get over here, thank you. Grab you, some of you, and some of those. And I bet... Boom, there goes the power. How much is that going to take? 159. Jesus. Let's see if I can get another one of these built. There we go. Salt. Pull out. And then you. Awesome. Okay. It really is. They are awesome. Let's see. Can I make... Oh, excellent. I can. All right. There we go. We have our power back up. Awesome. There we go. So the next step, keep some fuel on there. Manage this. You are permissions. I don't. I don't have Prime as a friend. That's why. Okay. Gens Processing Center. There we go. Missions, general settings. You are set to guild. Awesome. Hey, thank you for the resubscription there, Hollows. And absolutely. And holy crap, 27 months. So that's 2 years, 3 months. Wow, that is a long time to, like, it's kind of crazy to consider, A, how long I've been doing this, and B, how long you've been supporting me. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Let's move this up here. But also, yes, I am. Oh, absolutely. We've been friends for what? Shit. At least 7 years. At least, that I can think of. Possibly longer than that. That's a frightening prospect. That we've both put up with each other for this long. All right. I need to run back to home, grab some more plastone. And then oh yeah, that'll be fine. Ah, no. In my mouth, damn it. That's what she said. Sorry, couldn't help it. And we just slam into the wall. Yeah, that is going to be so nice. So essentially, the entire point of this is to just bring resources back to that base to get processed down. Once they're processed, we can then transport them to our main base fairly easily and fairly quickly, and then back and forth. And so that way we always have a safe spot near the edge of the map that we can drop stuff off at, location-wise and whatnot. Also, if we're ever caught out in a storm or a storm is coming, we also have a safe location there as well. So that'll be nice. What I'm half tempted to do is actually go ahead and take one of our 2 spice refineries. I think I'll do that after I get the base sorted out. Once I get it up and running enough that I can kind of leave it alone for a few, then I'll go ahead and look at grabbing some, because I have an old base that is in Western Vermilia's Gap. And it's got a death still in it that I could basically grab. Although I think our better idea would be to look at building a large wind trap or two on it. We'll see how that goes. Let's go grab that plastone. I need a lot more than I thought I was going to. Nope, and it's back over here. Saltthopter, drop off that. Boom, 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 boom. Take you. You're still doing your thing. Awesome. Like I said, we're going to grab this. Oh, wow. Okay. Or not. Let's go dump this off and then go grab the rest. Off you. Hold on to you guys. And then that way, once I get... Let's see. Once I get the initial logistics base done... Wow, still don't have... Okay. Actually, I wonder... Oh, no, well, damn. I was hoping it was going to let me just put it straight in the Assaultthopter that way. But once I get the logistics done, I can then start focusing on how I would like, or more specifically, what I might do is just do a solido of the logistics base for our deep desert, for the most part. Yeah, I might just have to do that. Although for that one will be a lot easier to deal with, since the only thing it will need is some power for the pentashields and power for the pentashields and cargo. That's it. That's all it'll need. Because the entire premise of that base will simply be a location to have the buggy and eventually sandcrawler, as well as the carrier. And then what else? I think that'll be basically it. Is there anything else? Probably, but let's get the base finished first. I'll worry about everything else afterwards. So yeah, so see what else I need. I know, right? How dare I? But in the deep desert, you don't mess around too much. If only I made life decisions in real life like I do in video games. I would be in a much better place. How dare you accuse me of being intelligent? The fuck is your problem? Right. That's true. A lack of cowbell is a terrible thing. Yay, deep desert. It's got lots of sand. Sand? Sand. Lots of sand. No, that doesn't work. And then we just come over here. It's kind of nice because the base is sort of hidden behind the rocks, so you don't normally notice it right away. Up and away! Perfect. Nailed it first time. Let's get some more. Well, that's not going in there. Do I have... I can make the biggest one. Did I not grab any steel? Pretty sure I did, or at least I thought I did. Oh, I probably used it for something. There we go. Now I can really drop stuff off. Okay. So... I'm just shy a little spice melange. That's it. Of course, the fuel cells that I need, but everything else I have. I thought I brought all my spice with me. And I thought I had more than that. Apparently I don't. Okay. But what I do have is the small spice refinery. And we are right there at that edge. Okay, cool. So first order of business is going to be to bring in a whole bunch of water, as well as to go out and collect a whole bunch of spice. Once I have those things taken care of, then we can go ahead and get that spice. Oops. Generator up and running. And that alone will resolve 99% of our power issue. And then what I can probably do at that point is move that, move the directional turbine that I have up there out to our, what will eventually be our logistics base. The collection point, if you will. we are. I'll just have to put in some stairs at some point. But we are now about to be watertight. There we go. We are now water sealed. So our base is part 1 finished. Part 2 needs some work. What I want to do, though, is go ahead and I want to get rid of that and that. You guys there. There. Because the next thing I want to do is see about using this for a couple of water cisterns. For a couple of water cisterns. Yeah, there is no pink in this game at all. I know, right? How dare they? Carefully. Okay. So the next step I need to do is to go ahead and bring in leader johns filled with water and drop them off. It actually dries to brown, not pink. Now, spice is purple, although funnily enough, and I'm surprised they didn't stick with this, in the books, spice fields are actually described as being a greenish color, not purple. So that's kind of interesting. I almost wonder if I could actually get the carrier. Well, I probably could get the carrier in here. It would just be a pain in the ass. Question is, do I want to? And the answer is no. Yeah, because getting an assault thopter out of there is a pain. Possibly also to break it up from any and all vegetation that might be on the map. Ooh, while I'm here. Also just in general to make it stand out. I know, right? How dare they be colorblind, those bastards? What's wrong with them? So selfish having a disability. Just who do they think they are? Oh, and I don't have them with me. Okay. I was going to do a quick scanner probe, survey probe, but I don't have any with me. I cannot does them. There we go. Coffee is now empty. And aim for the bushes. Hey, what's up, Grumpy? Nice, Matt. Nice. Oh, man. This is the only part that's kind of annoying, is that traveling back and forth between maps. It's like you should have just made it like a click on this option and been done with it. Come on. Here we go. I swear to God, those guys are always fighting out there. Whee! Just fly into the side of the building. Oops. Oh. Yep. Kissed it. No, I didn't. I very definitely did not. They definitely are. When it's NPC versus NPC, they tend to have like no damage at all. But as soon as it comes to killing a player, they're like, "Oh yeah, we got you. That won't be a problem, boss." It's like, well, geez, thanks. Let's see here. Think. Therefore I am. Not in there. Here we go. Here's all the leader Johns. Pretty much. I also... Sounds right. Let's see. Okay, good. I don't need... Well, I'm going to need that eventually, but I don't need it at the moment. I'm also going to take my armor out there. But... Ooh, I'm going to have to swap those bodies out at some point. We're going to make a little pit stop over at Dune Rock and Kintar's little base. Yeah, honestly, Captras really are, or Captchas, are the bane of human existence. It's like, honestly, you're doing less to keep out robots than you are to keep out humans. And especially with how quickly they can train a an AI to do a certain task. It's like, you're just making it easier for the bots, right? Like, at this point, you're not trying to keep out bots, you're just trying to teach bots. Yay. There's the base. But this is the little base that Kintard set up because it is right over top a nice big field of flowers. So all we have to do is come up here and then click extract for the next half hour, which they really need an extract all button desperately. Oh God, yes. I have more clicks to fill up water than to play Minecraft. And then, before I go, just as an analogy, don't get excited. I know, right? Pop these off. And then one more location to stop off at. Oh God, there you go. Actually, there's been a little part of me, just a tiny little part of me that's been tempted to reinstall Minecraft since I did the reinstall of everything. They really do. Cobalt's not going to mine itself. Hell, there's been a couple of times where I've almost installed Conan Exiles. And then I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to play it for all of 5 minutes and be like, okay, well, I'm done. And see, exactly. Well, yeah, but as we have previously discussed, there's no big titties in Dune. No, I can't. I am immune to your dirty looks. There we go. I will take that. And exactly. Some tiggle bitties. We're gonna take this and we're gonna take that. Oh, come on. Well, fortunately, the assault thopter's right here, so. And you know, the really annoying thing is how so many locations, so many places in the world are cracking down more and more on anything that may potentially be sexually explicit. But when it comes to violence, they're like, oh no, that's great. Like, We want more violence. We want to see stuff exploding. We want blood and limbs and guts and gore. We want all of that. We want to see violence everywhere. But, like, the act of procreation, the enjoyment of sexual intercourse between two consenting adults, none of that. We can't have that in our games or our media or our lives. And it's like, what the hell is happening here? Like, I just don't understand people anymore. Nudity is quite literally just, you know, humans without clothes. That's it. Like Tom and Jerry. Kinda. But it is just, it makes absolutely no sense. That's true. That is true. Up until a point, Tom did put clothes on from time to time. But he was also fond of blackface, so it kind of goes both ways. But it is strange how through religion and more antiquated religions, violence became okay and sexuality became taboo. Even though religion will sit there and say, forgive your neighbor, don't be violent, turn the other cheek, love everybody. It's like, how much bigger of a hypocrite do you need to be? Exactly. And it is just, it absolutely baffles the shit out of me that we're like this as a people. And it's only growing worse as we progress. And it's not a Christian thing specifically. Because if you look at the Muslim faith, it's very similar in that respect as well. If you look at Judaism, it has elements of it because Christianity is based off of Judaism. So throughout history, from a certain point, we just decided that sex bad, violence good. Yes. If I had to guess the reason why, violence is something that is utilized in typical warfare and in typical, I need to defend something or I need to make sure that I am protecting things or taking what I want. But sexuality is seen as a form of domination over your enemies or over weaker people at a more psychological level. Because typically, in like prison, for instance, it's not necessarily the need for a sexual release, more so as it's used as a form of domination, establishing sort of a hierarchy of leadership. Because it then also gets combined with violence to reinforce that situation. No, you're basically just late to the party on that one. Sorry, Hollows. That was actually kind of fun. Nope, get... Penetrate deep. There we go. Yeah, it's called a VOD. There we go. So now I can Oh, that's right. I have them all in there. Let's drop off this stuff. Also, you drop off my armor. There you go. Why do I have small vehicle cells? Oh well, not a big deal. And then, okay. Assault ornithopter. Actually, no, I want to keep that on there. Okay, cool. Not what I wanted. Also not what I wanted. That's what I... There we go. And now we drop off all of this water. At least a good portion of it. We're at 50,000 milliliters as our maximum extent. Ooh. One of our deciliter Johns is about to burst. Well, about to break. And... there we go. Let's see if I can get another couple in here. Perfect. Now we have 100,000. Eventually, I'd like to get to the point where I'm dropping the large cisterns on these. There. And then, how much power do I have? No, I need that. I have 359 of 425. So what I need is more spice. A lot more spice. Okay. Let's drop these off here for actually... There we go. Drop these off. I'm going to steal a little bit of water back for myself. There we go. That should be good. And then I need to go collect some spice. And specifically, I need that spice so that we can get our spice generator up and running. Once I have... Oh, that reminds me. I also need... refineries. I have the medium with me. Just shut it back off, though. Or not. Oh, we are right there at the cusp of power. Nice. Okay. And then... all right, so that way we can actually start doing plastanium out here as well. Alrighty then. What do you say Go looking for... Ooh, before... Well, actually, no, this is fine. I'm just like, yes, no, peppers. Let's drop this over here because... I can grab you. Make sure we don't put this away because then it gets all angry and it's like, oh, you can't scan now. The hell I can't. Almost done. Yay. Of course, it doesn't actually want to reveal anything yet. Because why would it? I hate that. I hate that so much. Anyway. Let's go ahead. God damn it. I need to look at the map real quick. Let's actually... So show medium spice fields while I'm at it. Okay. Wow, they are all up there. Got it. So let's head to F4. Actually, F5. F5. And see what sort of trouble we can find. Go. Nice leisurely flight out into the desert. Oh, hey. Familiar name there. Actually, technically, both of those are familiar. Oh, so Kintar and I were looking at the albatross wings for the ornithopters, and we came to the conclusion, at least for the Mark VI, that there is literally no difference between the albatross and the Mark VI ornithopter wings, aside from name, because they both have the same listed speed, they both have the same listed durability. So it's like, why would you bother swapping? Why would you bother with that? There's really no point, and it's more expensive. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it's more expensive or if they are a little bit cheaper, but either way, it's like, why go through the effort? I have found anecdotally that it seems like the albatross wings actually take more durability damage than the regular wings do. Now, I don't know how correct that is, but it just seemed like they were taking more damage over time than a regular pair does. But their speeds were pretty much identical. God damn it. Tell you what, tired of this cough. Can't wait till it's over. I will say, though, we do haul some ass. It's so much nicer flying a scout compared to flying a assault thopter, because the assault thopter is so slow. Even when you're gliding, it still feels ridiculously slow. But the scout goes pretty quick. Wow. Wait a minute. That base is huge. Maybe we can use claim stakes. I might have to bring some out and see about that. Hey, there's a wormy out there. I wonder if it's, you can't use them in the A rank, but you can use them farther out. I think Big Boy was taking out one of the ships. That looks like one of the large spice rings. I don't know if it has any spice in it. We're about to find out. If it does, we're picking up some spice. I'm kind of sad though, because my safe spice area isn't around anymore. Oh yeah, it looks like there is. Awesome. Looks like somebody already grabbed a whole bunch of spice from it too. So right now I do the industrial one, which is the one that industrial static compactor. I would like to do the omnidirectional one, but this is just the one that I have, so. Grab you. Oh yeah, sandcrawler, definitely. That will eat up a whole lot of spice. That's kind of what Kintar and I have been working towards, is getting to the point where we've got a sand crawler that we can make. Hopefully we can actually get one made this week. That. That. How are we doing so far? Okay. What I like to do is a few patches, then lift off, then do a few more, and it helps kind of break up the aggro a little bit. At least as far as I have determined. And there goes you. And then also staying close to the Thopter. I don't care that I have Shiga wire. It's too easy to make a mistake. Well, there's only about, as far as I can tell, one, maybe two worms that are in the deep desert. And they have a lot of area to cover. Yeah, that it is. So pretty. It's all sparkly and spicy. Part of me kind of hopes we piss it off enough to get one of the granddaddy worms. I'd actually like to see that in person. I doubt that'll happen, but it would be cool to see. And there's that. Yep, I see you there, buddy. And we'll just wait for him to go past. Now, I've been told that I can just immediately drop back down again. However, I will give it just a few. Because of the fact that that gives him enough time to, like, go away. And then I don't have to worry about it as much. I mean, we should be good now, so. And that's mine. And that's mine. Give me some of this. Try and get as much out of this as we can. Shoot. Which, fortunately, this is a pretty good harvest out here today. That. How are we doing so far? We are almost full. Cool. One of the other things that I notice is that when people come out here and start gathering spice, they usually just start blasting away at the sand know I heard him. Well, hey there, buddy. You thought you could sneak up on me. That's so adorable. But they'll just go ahead and just start blasting at the sand and have like 20 or 30 piles of spice that they're trying to pick up. And it takes them longer because they have to lift off a lot more frequently. Instead of just drop down, sneak a few, lift back up, wait. Let's just get a couple more here, and then we'll head back to base. Now, this is where a forward base is going to be really useful, because then it's just a matter of dropping off, coming back, filling back up, etc., and having a lot more to move. Let's go ahead and head on back. So essentially what we would be able to do is actually utilize the buggy and carrier to move a whole bunch of stuff from forward base to rear base to the processing base, which would be super beneficial. All right. Now we just got to fly back and get this spice started, and hopefully that'll get us, let's see, that's 25, 3,333, 2,800, almost 2,900 spice. Not bad. That'll be a good start. And then I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to be able to run just because of the water situation. But then what I can do is go ahead and get or start looking at putting together a large a large wind trap. At least on top of our production facility. That will then allow us to start just, when we're not there at the base, it'll still be gathering water. And I think that's one of our biggest things to worry about, is just finding or collecting as much water as possible while we're not actually doing anything. Okay. Getting close to actual lunchtime. Also, I am really looking forward to being able to make the tier 6 still suits. Those things are awesome. The Chome still suit. However, what I would love to see in the future are actual proper Fremen still suits, because that's one of the things that is stated in the books is the absolute best still suit in all of the Imperium is a Fremen still suit. There is none finer and none more efficient. Well, hey there, Gilbert. How you doing, buddy? Bingo. It is kind of fun to watch them. Oh, that's so okay. I'll actually tell this story because it is kind of a fun story. So initially, when we were looking at private servers, the first one that we went with was G Portal. G Portal, its issue was that the server cluster that we were on would go down for like 18 to 20 hours. And that was like the first 2 or 3 days that we were with them. And we were like, no, not happening. But while we were in the Discord trying to figure out what was going on and what they were going to do about it, which was apparently nothing, the moderators were chatting with the guys on the server, and they called the sandworm Gilbert. And at first we were like, that just, whatever, that's kind of stupid. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, the name actually works incredibly well. Because the only person that I could think of off the top of my head who was named Gilbert is the comedian Gilbert Godfrey. And so I was looking at the last name of that, Godfrey. I was like, that actually makes absolute sense for Shai-Hulud. Because the Fremen consider the sandworm to be a god, and especially the larger sandworms. They revere the sandworms as deities. So you have the idea of the sandworm being a god. And considering that sandworms have complete freedom over the entirety of the desert, that means they're free. So Gilbert Godfrey, it makes sense. You're welcome. You are 100% welcome for that one. That actually would be hilarious to hear. Let's see. Can I? No, not that. I need you. There we go. Make you for these. It really is, actually. You. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to move. Over here. And then we're going to set you to circuit 8. Storage circuit 8. Not what I wanted. Damn it. There we go. Okay, now I can do a max of 38 because that's all. Awesome. There we go. We are now starting to refine spice in the deep desert. It's not much, but it's a start. Also, I will be right back. We're back. Okay, so for this, I need a lot more. Jesus, okay. That's just going to be a whole lot of farming in general. Oh, did I also drop off what I had? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. Next up. Let's pick you up. That is a little bit of a tight squeeze, but, you know, it works. And let's head back to Haga Basin to pick up some more stuff. I think specifically what I need to pick up, probably going to be some more plastone, or at least get some more plastone made. And then also, it's good. Let's see. I should look at what I need for the large wind trap. Doot, 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 doot. There we go. So we're going to see about getting a large wind trap made. Putting a second story on our base, so that way we can get the carrier out there. I'm also going to see about grabbing the buggy, so that way I'll have its parts out there and ready to utilize. And then we'll also grab the stakes as well. So still a lot of work. But that's okay. We're getting there. May also need to go ahead and grab some extra fuel cells while I'm at it, just to be on the safe side. There we are. Okay. What do I need for duraluminum, silicon, and spice? Okay. I should have all of that. Oh, I'm gonna need more jasmium. Okay. Let's get the bodies going. And there we go. I need... Oh, I need to go grab some more flour sand. Medium, medium. Large is down there. There we go. And then also, I need... Oof. Okay, so I need to make some of those. More specifically, I need some of these. Yeah, we'll make a couple of these, bring them with. I can at least get them started in the dew collector. And then from there, I can always come back once we have some more stuff and make more. Eventually, it feels like, ooh, and I have some there. Perfect. So essentially, what is going to wind up happening is that at some point in time, we are going to have a large portion of our base also able to be replicated out in the deep desert. Yeah, we'll grab those. And I think that's all I really need at the moment. That should be good. Awesome. And then let's go grab the parts for the buggy that we need. There we go. I can just assemble that out there and we'll be able to use the carrier to move it. Before I get going, I don't think I can make any more, but we'll double check anyway. But I want to check to see if we can make more plastone while we're here. Nope. Okay. Not a problem. I almost need a sand bike to get back and forth through the hangar. There we go. Now we should be able to head back. Drop off this stuff. And see about getting the hangar for the carrier done. That'll be part 2 of all of this, is then getting the carrier out there. And once the carrier's out there, it'll be pretty easy to do everything else. Collect the titanium and stravidium that we need, that sort of thing. And just, in general, start enjoying life out in the deep desert. There we go. And away we go. Oh. There we go. Yay. Oh, also. Okay, good. Oh yeah, we're right on that border too. Nice. Up, up, and away. And I think what I might do for the carrier is actually design its hangar to be a pass-through. So that way it's got a pentashield on both front and back. That way it'll make it easier to land and take off with it, since it's not quite as agile as the Scout or the Assault Thopter. And of course, agility being a relative thing. Let's get... the buggy put together. There we go. Add everybody to it. And there we go. Yeah, exactly. Well, hell, we already have been flying bricks for a while. We just call them space shuttles. But very definitely, that's how it feels. Ooh, awesome. Okay, I need... You still need duraluminum ingots. Which... I'd say they're about the same, really. Funnily enough, it's actually faster to fly it, barely faster to fly it in hover mode than in vulture mode. All right, what I'm going to do here, because I know I don't have enough power at the moment, is I'm going to get it built, but I'm going to shut it off. Yeah, because there goes the power. But I'm going to shut it off at the moment. Duraluminum, okay. There we go. And then once I get the once I get the spice generator up and running, then I can go ahead and turn this on and it'll start working and everybody will be happy, theoretically. But let's look at... I think what I want to do is just square this off. And I think that'll probably be for the best. Oh, we are just barely. Yeah, okay. Of course, I know that's... Oops. I should be able to fit the carrier there. Like, I know it'll fit. Yeah, it'll fit in this area fairly comfortably. In fact, I could even go so far as to move you over there. And drop all that. Put you in here. There. And that should work. And that is right at the top there. That is... Yeah, okay. So here goes a fun thing to do. Let's grab one of our stakes, which I put over here. I don't think I can up here. I think I can only do it out in the deep desert. Like the deeper desert, I should say. Oh no. Okay, cool. So I can do it out here. Of course, that's going to be a little expensive over time, but for now, that's good to know. Because that means that I can also do one of the verticals as well. Okay. Nope. Nope. That is not what I wanted. I need that still. I don't need that. Cool. There. So, with that in mind, I want you. It's not it at all. I should be able to get at some point here in the near future the pentashield up and running. Everybody will be happy. Theoretically, everybody will be happy. I'm getting hungry. Apparently, breakfast wasn't enough to tide me over for a little while. Let's do... that and... no. There. work. Definitely going to need some more plastone though, because I can already tell I'm not going to have enough to do the roof. That and that. We do the door. Excellent. That's what I want. I'll put window there and there. Same with here and here. Do the Atreides hawks over the door and over these windows. And there as well. Excellent. Then I can do these across here. I like using these as a sort of border, if you will, because they work really well at it. And then I'm going to put the thin windows up top, which will help increase the amount of lighting coming through and just make everything look a little bit nicer during both the day and night times. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more plastone. There's that. Excellent. Awesome. Now I just want to look at doing up the roofs. And as I mentioned, once we get the spice generator up and running, it'll be a lot easier to put pentashields up on the front and the back. Although I'm not... Yeah, I could easily get the carrier out of there. That wouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's just see if we can get this up. Yeah, there we go. I'm definitely not going to be able to get everything, but I can at least get some of this started. Yeah, there we are. Oops, I missed one. There we go. And there we go. The start of our carrier hangar. Make sure you're set to guild. You, so that you are easier to administrate. You're fine where you're at. Awesome. And then the only other thing that I really need to do is figure out where I would want to put some sort of stairs. I think I could probably do it on this side pretty easily. Yeah, we'll do... All right, Buggy, you're in the way. Sorry, buddy. Gotta demolish you. And perfect. Now I have a stairway up here. Easier to get back and forth. Now the question is, that is still considered, that's funny. I come up here, water sealed. I come down these stairs, and we go to sheltered, and then back to water sealed. Okay, that's fine. And we're all set. Do I have? I don't have anything out here worthwhile. I think there's basalt out here. I'd have to go check, but I think there's some basalt. I know there's plenty of flower sand out here. There's also plenty of aluminum. Salvage, granite, fuel cell, aluminum, copper. Let's go scan this area, shall we? That's what I thought. Yeah, I'll just have to bring... Yeah, I'll just have to bring the buggy out here and collect a bunch. Okay. Let us go ahead and... Oh, really? Fine. I'll just get up here. Also, looks like a lot of aluminum up here. Good spot. Oh no, my base. The only annoying thing is having to go out into the more deeper desert part to get flower sand if I really want to. It'd actually just be easier to, in Haga Basin, go to that safe spot to get flower sand, make the silicone there, and then just import it that way. Also, that way I'm not wasting the water that we have out here for it. Oh, yeah. Also could grab copper so that I can make more, like, you could very easily, if there was not the Coriolis storms all the time, you could very easily make a living out here, so to speak. What's that? Let's see what we've got. Nice. Fuel cell, salvage, copper, fuel, granite. I know there's gotta be some basalt here. I think there's some basalt farther out. I'd have to go look. It's more... Yeah, salvage metal. Anything? There's not a whole lot out there. Okay, that's fine. What is this? Oh. Let's go fuck around and find out. Nobody in here. Oh. Sand and madness. Just the way I like it. Go away, fire. Nobody likes you. Nice. I will take it. And oh, hey, look. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Well, that's no fun. I should have to murder the entire population of a small third world country in order to get what I want. None of this pacifistic bullshit. Oh, hey, some more basalt. We can go ahead and take this back home. That's true, yes. That is definitely one of the most Dune-isms of all Dune-isms. You want the most amount of water? You gotta go kill a few folk. There it is. Also, fuel. Probably have to use the carrier to get it down. Oh, hey. There's literally basalt right next to me. Okay. I see what you're doing. I don't like it, but I see it. It's not going to work. Put this over here. You are 2. Storage. You output to 2. Damn it. There we go. There, and that will plug up the slots so everything that it outputs goes directly into this box. Yay. And then what I can also do here is we demolish that. I do you. And we put a doorway there. Nope, that's fine. Is it? There. And then I just need you. Awesome. And guild. This will work so well. Yay, and I leveled up again. And we're good. So now now I can make 250 blast stone. Yay. Fortunately, it's fairly cheap to make, so there's that. You're still making all the spice, which we are now at 87. I need for you 135. So still a little bit more to go, but we're getting there. But I'm going to take a short break because I'm hungry. I want some food. So I'm going to go make myself some lunch. And then when I get back, we'll probably go out and do some more spice hunting and basalt collecting. I may actually, you know what I'm going to do while we're just sitting here not doing anything is I'm going to go ahead and grab that spot next to us. Because honestly, I was thinking about it. I was like, 15,000 Solari is not that difficult for us to collect. There we go. We're going to go ahead and collect that one. Because then what I can look at doing is making this the exit on-ramp, if you will. Exit and entrance for the buggy. So that way I can come in and out pretty easily. But anyway, I'm going to take a short lunch break. Make myself some food. When I get back, we'll do some more stuff. Let's just go ahead and hang out. Looking out at the desert. See if we can catch people going back and forth. I shall be back in a few. That was delicious. Bait out there. All right. So next up, I need, where are we at with the spice? 19 more. 87. Instead I had like 88. So that means I have some extra spice somewhere. Actually, let's move. Excuse me. Not there. Ah, there it is. So 93. I need another 42. And then I'll have enough. Let's also drop off this stuff, so I can always come back and pick it up later. Cool. All right. Did what you're supposed to, which was to make that. Awesome. So if I were to do this, would do that. Of course. Let's see if I can get another one of these going. With just enough power. Yeah, there we go. I knew I had some fuel cells out here. There we go. And hopefully that'll give us enough power. There we go. So now there and there. And that just rolls on out. And then we do this side. Actually, no. Now we do that. Get set to guild. Set this to guild. No, I did not. That gets set to guild. Everybody's happy. Now I can actually grab a lot more basalt. think there's any that way. There's, of course, aluminum over here. But no jasmium. That's going to be one of the other key things. Is that without jasmium, we can't make duraluminum out here. Just regular aluminum. That. Honestly, it's kind of fun to drive out here. I might bring a sand bike out and drive around for a little bit. Because I do enjoy it. Should be enough to kind of get us started with some more. Oh, yeah. And of course, there's some right next to the door. And we just tuck it out of the way. Kind of like a tea girl. Buggy. Drop that all off. There we go. And now I should be able to finish up here. Mostly. Yep. Oh yeah, I've got 1,000 now, so we should be good. Go. Excellent. I really do wish that there was, and especially with the technology that Dune has, a way that we could go into sort of like a laboratory and prefab a build like this to put in a Solido. I think that would be really cool to do. There we go. That is now covered. Also, I will be right back again. course, it's that time of day when everything starts going a little bit wrong. Anyway, you know what? Actually, I think with everything that's starting to pile up right now, I am actually going to go ahead and wrap this up for today. A little bit of a shorter one, but we did get quite a lot accomplished. I know it wasn't a Space Engineers Day, but that happens. Some days are Space Engineers, sometimes it's Dune. A little bit of back and forth. But tomorrow, we'll see about coming back with some Space Engineers, get some more work done on our base, and go from there. Other than that, though, that is going to be it for today, as always. Thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You all have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.